Christians and other people of faith keep telling me that I cannot have any morality without a belief in God. I think that's ridiculous. You see, there are many sources of morality, there are many models of morality and of ethics, and Christianity is only one. I would argue a fairly superficial one, because actually it's not a system of morals, it's a system of rules. For example, my morality comes from three main sources. First of all, I'm a secular humanist. So I believe in the principle, not the rule, but the principle of do no harm, or at least do the least harm that I can, and try very hard to avoid harm in support of human flourishing. That is given form and structure through utilitarianism. Not the utilitarianism of Jeremy Bentham, though, who first came up with utilitarianism but was essentially rules-based. Rather, I'm interested in the principles-based utilitarianism of John Stuart Mill, which effectively means the greatest good for the greatest number, but with certain principles attached. For example, one of the problems with Bentham's version is it could actually be used to argue that slavery is good, because whilst a subgroup of the population will be enslaved and therefore not benefited, the larger population, the greatest number, would benefit from that forced labour of others. That's why I reject Bentham's version. John Stuart Mill's version also includes do no harm, or do the least harm that you possibly can, and that therefore would rule out things like slavery. So they're the two elements of morality, the two bases of morality that inform my dealings with the world and people around me. Internally, I manage myself so that I have the fortitude, the strength, and the ability to be true to those forms of morality through stoicism, which is a way of managing my own emotions and my own behaviours in support of my ultimate aspiration, and I think it is just an aspiration, to become a sage, that is, to live the perfectly authentic life. All of these combined create a quite sophisticated system of morality. They are far more nuanced and far more effective in terms of achieving a moral good than simply following rules, which is all that Christianity and many other religions offer, which is a form of divine command theory. If God says it, we have to do it. And you just have to look at certainly the Abrahamic texts, particularly the Old Testament, but also large parts of the New, to see that human thriving and the avoidance of harm are far from front and centre in those Abrahamic traditions. So before Christians and other religious folk start telling me that I can't be moral, can I suggest that you do some reading around the subjects of morality and ethics and how those systems have developed over time? Because quite frankly, we're not in the Bronze Age anymore.